Hey folks, welcome back, another Palmas video, and today let's talk about some of the BP sync pairs, right? And which ones we should probably maybe aim for, right? Especially for, you know, for more, I guess, free-to-play players who don't have as many units, because these are very good. Honestly, none of them are like that, you know, none of them are like really bad at all. They're all like great units, and yeah, at the moment, I think this month we should only be able to pick up 2 by the end of the month. However, we should be able to pick up our first one really fast, because once the Groudon and Kyogre event drops, which is I think a day away, right? Well, I guess at 2 resets, in 2 resets, we should be able to get our first BP Sync Pair voucher, because this one's only at 100 points, right? And to get that 100 points, super easy in the event. It's just like clear the stage like, I don't know, 30 times or 40 times. It's super easy. You just skip tickets, 40 stages, and then boom, you got your 100 points or whatever. I don't exactly remember the details, but yeah, it should be really fast. We should be getting our first BP voucher. So it's for the first 100, you pick one up, and then after that, it's every subsequent 2,000 points, you pick up one, right? So you get another one at 2,000 points, you get another one at 4,000 points, then you get another one at 6,000 points. Oh yeah, never mind. This month we only have, I think, 1.7k or something. So we should only be able to get one this month, but we most likely will be getting another one next month, right? So there's a total of 5 that we could pick up. 5 BP tickets, 5 regular BP tickets, and then one at the end, the 10k points, you get the super voucher thing, right? BP Sync Pair super voucher. And then we got 5 regular ones, and there's 5 regular BP units, right? So I would recommend picking up one of each. I wouldn't worry about dupes, because for dupes you could just use move candy, right? These are all 4-star units. Use your 4-star move candies. I mean, like, honestly, what the heck are you storing those 4-star, you know, support candies up for, right? They literally have no use in this game outside of using it on either support Salamence, which you should not use on, or this Raichu, or Morty's Miss Magius, right? Which, by the way, if you are using the move candy, all just up to 3 out of 5 is fine. Unless you just have like an overload of, like, I guess 4-star striker move candies. We have a lot of those, so maybe if you want to, you know, buff your like damage a bit more, you could go over the top. But yeah, I would recommend just one of each, and then increase their move level with candy, so you could unlock, you know, the rest of the grid, right? So in terms of which ones we should go for first, right? Obviously it really depends on your account, but in general I would suggest, in terms of which one to pick up first, is definitely, I think, Surgeon Raichu. Surgeon Raichu, I think, is head and shoulders kind of above like all the other BP units in here. Like, this guy is just so good, right? This guy is incredibly good. So as you can see, like, really great speed, solid defenses. HP is not the greatest, but it's fine, right? And then like, this guy's just a fantastic support. This is the first obtainable free-to-play support in the game that can max your crit, right? Before this, it was Torch that could give you +2 crit. Medicham could give you +2 crit, right? But like, no one could, like, no free-to-play support could max out your crit, right? Because the max crit units are all paid, you know, or not paid, just, you know, gosh, 5 stars, right? Whether it be Sabrina Alakazam, 2 out of 5, or 3 out of 5 Hilbert, Samurott, Phoebe, Dusknoir, Meganium, right? 3 out of 5 Meganium, like, it's all like those units, or like MPRs on units that give you like +1 crit. Rabombi, Piers, whatever, right? This is the first one that's free and gives you max crit, right? The trainer move gives you +1 defense to your whole team, and then +2 crit for your whole team as well. This is amazing. This is just amazing, right? Especially for those who, you know, don't have Hilbert maxed out yet, right? If you only have a 1 out of 5 Hilbert or 2 out of 5 Hilbert, this is basically a 3 out of 5 Hilbert, which is one of the top tier supports in the game, right? It does set up a bit slower than Hilbert, but it gives you enough buffs, right? The buffs that you need. Because again, your train move maxes out your crit, also gives plus your defense, and you have X attack all. So not only are you giving crit, you're also giving, attack, +4 attack on your X attack all, which in your sync grid you could then pick up if you use a 4-star support candy, which you should use, right? You could pick up MP Refresh 3 on X attack all, so then you could potentially max out your attack and max out your team's crit if you need be, right? And then on top of that, you also have some other great stuff on your grid. You got Team Fast Track 4, 50% chance of buffing your whole team's speed every time you use a move, which is fantastic, right? Then you have Thunder Wave as well. If you want to paralyze someone, you got Fast Track 3 on your Thunder Punch. If you want to get your own speed, buffed up a bit quicker. First Aid 4 to heal yourself, right? Endurance is something, I guess. But yeah. Lieutenant Surge is definitely the overall greatest in terms of if you're if you're like a whale, you spend a lot of money on this game, you have basically the most of the units. If you already have a 3 out of 5 Hilbert, 2 out of 5 Serena, 3 out of 5 Lyra, you got 2 out of 5 Singsu Blue for the MP Refresh on train move, you got Bergby. If you have all those, then okay, maybe you don't have to pick up Raichu, but again, do keep in mind, for Master Mode, there's multiple stages, right? You need to run multiple teams, and having a max crit buffer is always great, especially, again, he's not this guy's not a bum, right? He's not a much worse than any of the other, in fact, he's better than, I'd say, 90% of the, summonable, supports in this game. Right, maybe not 90, 80% of supports in this game, summonable supports, he's just that good. He's just that good, right? So this is, again, in terms my personal recommendation, the first one you want to go for is probably Lieutenant Surge. The second one, it's between Salamence or Umbreon, and this one just depends on what you need, right? If you really need a Dragon type damage healer, you go for Salamence, although I really don't think most people do, because Zinnia was free, and Zinnia is getting a huge buff with Groudon and Kyogre, right? With the Master Passive, running Zinnia with either Groudon or Kyogre is going to be absolutely nuts. The other Zinnia, Rayquaza, Zinnia Rayquaza, not this, because this is also Zinnia, right? But yeah, if you really need a Dragon type damage dealer, you could go with Zinnia, but otherwise I'd probably go with Karen. Unless you have either Marnie, Halloween, Hilbert, right? Which both of those are limited units, so I'm not sure if a lot of people have them. I mean, if you do have both, Marnie and Halloween, Hilbert, then okay, sure, you don't have to worry too much about Umbreon. Then you could go for, maybe Salamence over here, right? Or even Tangela, right? But if you really don't have that, and if you're lacking a good solid dark type option, Karen is very good for that, right? Another reason if you want to pick up Salamence would be if you need another partner for your champion Iris, right? If you're a champion Iris user, Salamence is actually really great with champion Iris, because first of all, you activate the Dragon type theme skill, and then on top of that, the physical attack debuffs that they both do are obviously very helpful for each other, right? So they actually work decently well, and then you also have the flinch stuff as well with Dragon Rush and all that stuff. So if you have Champion Iris and because Champion Iris is a very good unit in of itself. However, Champion Iris is very team comp dependent, right? In the wrong teams, Champion Iris is basically not good, right? But in the right teams, she's very powerful, and Salamence is one of those units that could make her much better, right? So yeah, if you don't really need a dark type damage healer, and you have Champion Iris, you want to make Champion Iris much better, or if you just really need a Dragon type damage healer, you go for Salamence. Salamence damage is actually really good. If not, then you go for again Karen. After that, I'd probably pick up Tangela before Morty, but again, it also depends on what you need. Tangela is basically a free 1.5k master mode every week, right? And like if you're really struggling with like clearing 1.5k master modes, like you could maybe even like pick up Tangela instead of like either Zinnia or Karen, right? You could maybe prioritize picking her up because like Zinnia and Karen, they're more so, you know, type specific, right? Erika, you could just basically throw her into like any master mode 1.5k, pick up all the HP parameters. Toxic and what was it, infestation, and then just toxic trap stall them, which yeah, she's very good at, because on top of having, well, obviously both toxic and trap, she also has like poke trap to boost the trap damage, right? She also has a solid sync nuke if you need that, right? Like I think she also has like propelling move, right? Propelling move, so it's good on your gauges as well. Decent defensively, not that great, I'd say, right? You probably still want to tank with something else, but yeah, it's definitely an option you could go for. And the last one, I'd say Morty. Morty is good for, I'd say, if you are having trouble with a legendary arena. If you're having trouble with a lot of legendary arenas, Morty should be very good for legendary arenas, right? So not that much for Champion Stadium, although you could definitely run him in Champion Stadium. But the thing with Morty is, or Master Mode, I guess, regular Champion Stadium, you could do whatever. But yeah, the thing with like running Morty in like Master Mode is, because the thing with Master Mode is you want to clear it as fast as possible most of the time, and then Morty a lot of times is just not really doing anything there. It's just sitting there, just taking hits. Which there's a lot of other units that could also take hits, but also contribute offensively, right? Or you know, give your team speed or whatever, right? And Morty doesn't really do that, which is why, again, Morty I think is really great in Legendary Arena, which is, again, if you're having trouble with Legendary Arena, maybe you could pick up Morty before Tangle, because like stuff like Tangle is not very great in Legendary Arena. Like maybe okay, Cabalion, because you need like the 2 status, but like outside of like Cabalion, like most Legendary Arenas are very weak to flinching, and most Legendary Arenas are relatively long in terms of like, you know, the battle, right? So a solid tank with potions defense buffs is really nice, right? Like he's got, like, you know, he got both defense buffs, right? Obviously you can max that out with the MP refresh on the sync grid, and then you have potion with both you know, with where is it, potion with, well, master healer, which increases the potion heal, oh, that's the MP refresh, but increases the potion heals to like where is master healer, oh yeah, to 50% on the synchro, and then you have the passive to boost it to 60% potions, which is really nice as well, right? And again, flinch is nice, and then you fuse flinch, because the great thing about legendary arenas is when the opponent is flinched, they just do not do anything, right? In other battles, they just queue up like some other moves, like non-attacking moves. They start buffing themselves, which is, you generally maybe don't want that to happen too much, but in Legendary Arena, if you flinch them, they just don't know what the heck is going on. They're just gonna sit there and do nothing, and then you just get free hits in, which is why, again, flinch is very great for Master Mode. But yeah, Morty I wouldn't really make a priority if you're struggling with Master Mode, but if you are struggling with Legendary Arenas, he is definitely a solid pickup. But yeah, just a quick recap. Raj is probably the best to pick up for like anyone, right? And then after that, it's probably, you know, one of the damage healers, whichever one you need. If you need both, then I'd probably pick up Salamence first. But then again, like I mentioned before, I don't really think too many people are missing like a dragon type damage healer, just because we just got like Zinnia and Rayquaza rerun, right? Not too long ago, and obviously she is, you know, a fantastic dragon type damage healer. She might even be the best dragon type damage healer after Maxing Groudon comes out, because she's just so like incredible, right, with those team comps. I'm not 100% sure. don't quote me on that, but yeah. And then after, maybe Karen. And then after that, it depends. If you're struggling with Master Mode, pick up Erika. If you're struggling with Legendary Arena, pick up Morty Miss Magus, right? As for these two, I mean, Cobalion's better. I'm not gonna go into it in detail, but since like we can't get it at the moment anyway, so when it comes closer, to when we could actually obtain them. I could maybe talk about them a bit more in detail, but I mean, the short answer is Cobalton's much better than Rage Rock. But who knows? Maybe in however months time, you know, once we finally get the ability to exchange for these, maybe the meta changes, so maybe Rage Rock becomes better, right? So who knows? But anyways, that's me. This one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy this video, subscribe to our channel for some more Pokemon Masters content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.